There's no getting around the undeniable reality that horses are fascinating animals that are endowed with their own distinct intelligence. They have a personality that's characterized by a high degree of sensitivity and companionship, both of which are essential components of who they are. Both of these characteristics are vital to them. On the other hand, not much is known about these animals despite this. Suppose they believe that they're in danger. In that case, they will viciously fight anyone who threatens them and use all of their physical strength and integrity to avoid potentially hazardous situations and circumstances if they believe they're in danger. What may happen when horses approach too close to waterways teeming with crocodiles? Komodo dragon versus horses. The Komodo dragon can reach a length of 3 meters and a weight of 250 kilograms, making it the largest living reptile on the planet. They have tainted saliva, which, when it comes into contact with the animal they hunt, can induce an infection of an extremely serious nature. In addition to this, they exude an air of refined authority. In this video, we see a group of Komodo dragons surrounding a horse in a swarming manner. Now, instead of the prey animal attempting to defend itself by kicking the predator, the latter deals severe blows to the legs of the prey. And because of this very reason, they continued surrounding and fighting against the horse until it fell to the ground and was defeated by these reptiles. It is possible to see several downed dragons at a certain moment based on the cameraman's position. It is a little lacking in showing just how powerful the animal was at that particular instant, but it is possible to view just how many dragons were put down. Anyone who irritates goats faces the risk of being rendered unable to defend themselves due to the goat's reputation as one of the most powerful animals that live on land. A goat that is obvious to its surroundings approaches some horses intending to cause them harm. She gives the horses numerous headbutts with her horns, catching their attention and making them irritable. However, you're going to quickly learn that it'll be necessary to battle her to regain peace of mind. Even though horses are known for their calm demeanor, the horse gives the goat a good kick, which teaches her that she shouldn't get into fights with animals that are far larger than she is in the future. The troublemaker, though, is unfazed by the situation, and a handful of kicks later, the goat just gives up and leaves. The action in this one was caught on a camera inside a barn, which included female riders competing against equine athletes. We noticed a caretaker administering medical care to an animal on the scene. The white horse appears to be nervous and excited at the same time, giving off the impression that it's all over the place. He makes a lot of noise by stomping his hoof on the gate in order to get attention from his trainer. Well, the rider will open the gate, and then the horse will finish eating a few moments after the other horses does so. It would appear that she puts up with a significant amount of suffering from the member until she feigns that the mare will not leave the stable. When the other horses are let go, the white horse suddenly kicks and bolts. With this unexpected turn of events, both horses are running loose, but she manages to bring them under control just in time to prevent them from fleeing the stable. She makes sure that the door in the room is closed and locked in order to avoid the same thing from happening again. When animals believe that another animal is trying to enter their territory, they will engage in combat with one another as a kind of self-defense in the form of fighting. This type of conflict is known as fighting between species. When they're in the midst of the desert, a horse and dromedary manage to get themselves mixed up and head in the opposite direction from what they should have. They make an effort that's more centered and organized on achieving the goal. Because it's significantly more robust than the horse, the dromedary has the ability to capitalize on its size advantage by grabbing hold of the horse and rendering it powerless as a result. In this situation, the horse is exerting all of its attempts to get free, but it's unable to, and as a result, his movements are limited by the opponent. When a certain amount of time has elapsed, the adversary will finally become worn out and satisfied, providing the horse the opportunity to escape and run away from the situation. Since zebras and horses come from the same family tree, it is highly common for these two animals to have sexual relations that result in the birth of new zebra species. This is because zebras and horses have a common ancestor. Even though they're forced to maintain eye contact during the entirety of this clip, a horse and a zebra give the impression that they do not frequently lie to one another. The fact that the zebra makes an effort to bite the annoying competition only to have the horse fight back against it is another bizarre occurrence. Because they continually poke fun at one another whenever they're in the same place, the two can't coexist peacefully. On the other hand, it didn't take us very long to figure out that the confusion was caused by a horse on the opposite side of the fence. As the plot progresses, it becomes clear how the thirsty bee contributed to the overall narrative. The animal's behaving oddly. It would appear that he is unnerved by the suitor's presence. The mare enters the pens and she's tense. She accomplishes her goal with the stallion. Now, up to that time, everything went swimmingly and nothing was out of the ordinary to report. Because he was knocked to the ground, the other men started to feel worried and concerned about the animal approaching them. The horse owner has concluded that the blow dealt by the gate mare was ultimately responsible for the horse being in his hands. Have you ever heard the adage that the silver spoon should never be tossed in during an argument between a husband and wife? Well, this happy couple's having a great time soaking in the river until it suddenly begins to get electric and chaos erupts as they fight for authority over who will get the water. They bite and kick each other. She has an unhealthy resentment toward another female who was also present there. Because the argument was so intense, the other horses in the corral moved away from the couple engaged in the conflict. It is common knowledge that horses are gentle and affectionate animals. Nevertheless, in order to ensure that their species will continue to exist in the future, certain parameters must be satisfied, while the other animals, including the alligator themselves, show the fearless side of their personalities. The horse walks straight up to a gigantic alligator and approaches it with bravado. Because he's accompanied by a flock that employs a young shepherd to frighten away the dangerous predator, he is prohibited from approaching the reptile to the point where he could trample on it. This is because the young shepherd is employed to frighten away the potentially dangerous predator. The severity of the threat forces the alligator to erupt on the ground, which is precisely when it's subjected to the most significant degree of pain and anguish. The reptile persuades the shepherd that it's to their best advantage to quickly depart the region and proceed to the other side of the jungle, where there's more vegetation.